Okay, welcome back to another edition of School of the Regista. Um, today's presentation, it's really going to be pretty short and sweet, but I think it's really one of the most important qualities in a player, and I also think it's one of the more challenging things for players to develop. And I'm talking about vision and scanning. And we'll talk about at Capital Soccer Club what we use in our curriculum to help teach um, the habit of scanning and vision and checking over your shoulder, and really how I think it separates kind of average players from good players, and then good players from really good players or great players, and then great players from really special players. Um, so we'll talk about, and it's called the 3-moment method, and we'll talk about that and exactly what is space. Then we'll also go over a little bit of a video clip of a professional player checking their shoulder, and I'll show you something that you can do on your own to help you develop the good habit, and then also assign you some more video homework for you to work on being an intelligent observation commentator, right? The approach part of shape. So yeah, let's start it up. So again, we're focusing on scanning and vision today. Like I talked about, how do you build this habit of scanning and checking your surroundings for awareness? What are you even looking for? And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, if you were at the training sessions, our first training sessions at GMCF, I was with all the teams at their practices, and we talked a lot about how do you create space from a defender. And quite simply, how do you recognize what space is? Okay, what are you checking for? And it simply is the distance and position between you and the defender. Okay. So the distance, obviously, how far away a defender is, dictates how much space that you have. And then the position of that defender, are they goal side of you, right? Are they in between you and the goal that you're trying to score on? Are they on the other side of you? Are they to the left, and are they to the right? But that's not the only thing that we consider when we're talking about space. And when we talk about checking your surroundings for awareness, we also have to understand where our teammates are. The two major things that we want to be thinking about when we're scanning and when we talk about vision and where we are on the field, where the defenders are and where the teammates are. And that obviously has everything to do with where am I on the pitch at that time, what position am I playing, what role in the team do I have. For instance, if I'm an outside player, then I also have the touchline to consider in terms of spacing. Similar defenders, you're thinking about your own goal and the end line, and attackers, you're thinking about the other team's goal. And center midfielders, you have kind of everything to consider. So these are the two things that we're looking for. Where are the defenders? Where are my teammates? And where are they in relation to each other as well? So constantly scanning and taking snapshots of the game. And this is why we say it's so important to constantly be scanning. Is the landscape on a soccer pitch is constantly changing, isn't it? You are going through hundreds, if not thousands, of different scenarios every single game. And you constantly have to be looking and seeing what those are. So again, because you must do this so much in a match, you can't simply just say, okay, I'm going to do this in a match. This is something that you have to build a habit of doing. You have to do it in your team training. You have to do it in your own technical training. You need to do it just from playing, and being conscious and being deliberate in the way that you're playing. And also, again, and it always comes back to this: what is your role in the team? What are you trying to accomplish? So at Capital, We have what's called the 3-moment method for checking your shoulder and scanning for awareness. Uh, so check your shoulder and your surroundings. So this is something that we use in training all the time. This is how we teach players to build the habit of scanning. And again, we'll go through this. There's obviously 3 moments and 3 layers of this, but I'll start with this. I would say that most players, and certainly average players, don't scan and look for space when they don't have the ball. The only time that they're really considering the defense and where their teammates are is when right at the moment that they get the ball. So the ball's at their feet, and then they're picking up their head, and that's the first time that they're seeing the new landscape in front of them. I would say good players are the ones that every time that they think they might get the ball, so they think they could get the ball, so they're in a position where there's a good possibility that they might get the ball. They're then scanning around and seeing what the situation looks like at that moment. Okay, that's the first moment when you think you get the ball. So taking a scan around and seeing what you have at that moment. Okay, so I think that's what good players would do. The next step, really good players, I would say, and maybe even great players, are the ones that can then do it again. Okay, when they think or when they know they will get the ball. Okay, they do it when they think they get the ball. Some more stuff happens. Now they know that the ball is going to be coming to them. Okay, so that maybe was a split second or 1 or 2 seconds. The entire landscape has changed. So they know that they have to check their shoulders again. So the moment they know they get the ball. And then I would say what separates really special players are the ones that they check their shoulder again, they check their surroundings again right before the ball arrives. Okay, and this is obviously the most difficult because you have the ball coming towards you and you have to start thinking about your first touch. But I think really, really special players are the ones that right before that ball arrives, they can take one more look to see what the space is. They know that defenders are probably coming in on them. Maybe another defender is coming in from a blind spot that they could not see before, and they take another look right before the ball arrives. So that's the 3-moment method. I think that's what kind of separates average players from good players and good players from great players. So again, not something that comes natural, and you have to do it many times during a match. Think about all the times that you touch the ball, all the times that you think you might get the ball, right? Every time you think you get the ball, that's a look. And I just want to make clear too, this is a 3-moment method for checking your shoulder, certainly when you think you get the ball, because you're going to be under pressure. But no matter what, even when you're not thinking that you're going to get the ball anytime soon, you should be constantly looking over the field and just be evaluating your surroundings. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch a few clips from Martin Ødegaard. Odegaard is, he plays for Real Madrid. Last season, he was on loan at Real Sociedad. And in my opinion, is a really special player and a really great attacking center midfielder. I wouldn't say he's a regista in the strict sense of the word, so he's not really a total deep lying midfielder, but you'll actually see that he does pick up the ball pretty deep in midfield a lot of the time. So this first clip that I'm going to show of him, and I'll show the clip and then it'll kind of show it in slow motion. He actually demonstrates the 3-moment method really well. So again, apologies in advance. I know when you stream this, the video might be kind of choppy. So I will post the clips in the Google Classroom so you can review it again. Okay, so again, this is the same clip. Here's our player right here. Again, he's thinking he might get the ball. He's checking his space. Again, it's a little hard to see. He knows he's going to get the ball now. He checks his space. And then you can see as the ball starts coming to him, he takes a look one more time, and he realizes that he has all that space in front of him. This is him right here. Little reverse pass. That's what we call in the United States a hockey pass, right? So again, you can see him in the middle of the pitch here. Again, spacing relative to the defenders, relative to the rest of the team. In the US, we call that a hockey assist. Okay. This is one of my favorite clips of him. So I think it shows his intelligence and always being aware of where his teammates are. Again, you can see him pointing here, right? Where he wants the ball to go. He knows where his teammate is. He knows how the ball is traveling. He sees the defender, takes his eyes off him for a second, gets in his blind spot, and starts moving forward. Again, you can see there clearly he's checking his shoulder right before the ball arrives, right? Special player. Needs to work on the finishing. Here we are again, right? Just right as the ball is coming in, you can see him check his shoulder and then go. And this is actually a situation that I see so often in club soccer and in high school soccer with center midfielders is a lot of times they will find themselves in really good space. Like here, the defense is so stretched. There's so much space in the middle of the field, and he recognizes that he has time to take a clean first touch on the half turn and then start sprinting into that space. I see a lot of players try to play a one-touch pass here for one reason or another that goes wide and usually is square. And I can't tell you how many times that happens, and you're just saying, receive the ball, turn, and go. That's where you want the ball, right? In the middle of the field with space in front of you to run. Okay, so those were the clips. Again, I'll post them on the assignment so you can watch it so it's not as hitchy. What you can do for homework here, and I would actually encourage you to maybe FaceTime or Zoom with one of your teammates if you've been partnered up with somebody, like the players on my team have partners that they should be working with, or if you have a sibling or if you have a parent. But simply, you're going to have a ball at your feet. You're going to have the wall in front of you. You're going to pass the ball off of the wall, and as the ball is traveling, you're checking over your shoulder, and the person behind you, whether it's your parent, your sibling, or somebody on maybe an iPad or a laptop, or if you can put it up on the big screen, is holding up fingers. So the player plays the ball off of the wall, holds up some fingers. You look back, say 2, say it out loud. You do it 10 times, and then you would switch. So I would encourage you to do that with a teammate virtually. But if not, it might just be easier to do it with a sibling or a parent if you have them. Okay, challenge yourself, right? Don't make these really easy passes off of the wall, and then go. And then also, just like we did last week, I am uploading the first half of a match from, I can't believe it was still in 2020, but the She Believes Cup right in the beginning of 2020. The U.S. women's national team played the Spanish women's national team. I'm a really big fan of the Spanish team. But instead of last week, I just want you to choose one player, and it can be on either team. And I would encourage you to choose a player who is in your position. So you might have to watch the first few minutes of it and see the formations, but I want you to choose a player. And then I want you to watch that 45 minutes and again, count how many times your player checks their surrounding when they are close to getting the ball. So how many times are they checking their shoulder? Do they ever do the 3-moment method? Can you actually catch a player doing the 3-moment method? Okay. So again, video homework. Obviously, watching the professionals do it. Again, you'll see a lot of players checking their surroundings in any professional match that you watch. Again, this is what distinguishes great players and special players from average one. And certainly in the professional ranks, you have really great players. Again, watch professional video as a student, right? Not just as a fan. Of course, we can watch games as fans, but we should be watching professional soccer to make ourselves better as soccer players and certainly as soccer coaches as well. There's so much information that you can get just from one game. And I guarantee you some of the best ways to improve your own game is to watch players that play in your position or a position that you want to play in, and then trying to replicate what they do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel as a soccer player. You have role models playing a lot of games every single week. So take advantage of it. Certainly use this video clip and kind of help see how players scan, and then go from there. Okay, so that's the presentation. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Again, I would encourage you to partner up with one of your teammates and do that wall ball workout virtually. I think you can be really creative with it, and I certainly would like to see that. So if you can do that and take a picture or take a video, I think that'd be pretty cool. And then also watch the first half of the U.S. Spanish match. And again, just always thinking about that 3-moment method, and how can you start to develop that habit as a player? Do you want to become a special player? Can you separate yourself from other players by developing this 3-moment method?